Welcome to the class. In this class we are going to discuss about the transdermal drug delivery system. In this transdermal drug delivery system we are going to discuss about the introduction and advantages, disadvantages, permeation methods and some techniques which are used to deliver the drug into the skin. Okay, shall we start it? First of all, the transdermal drug delivery system introduction. Human skin, the integument of humans, has a multifunctional role. One of the most important functions is ability to act as a protective barrier, which is against the ingress of foreign materials like chemicals and microbes, and loss of excessive endogenous materials such as water. The barrier function of the skin is reflected in the multi-layered structure. Each layer is known to represent the different levels of cellular and epidermal differentiation. The top or uppermost layer of the skin is called as stratum corneum. Okay, the upper layer of the skin is called as stratum corneum. stratum corneum, stratum corneum, which represent the end product of the differentiation process. The stratum corneum therefore is comprised of dead cells which enter depressed within a lipid rich matrix. This stratum corneum is brick and mortar architecture and lipophilic nature of the stratum corneum. The skin is brick and mortar architecture and lipophilic nature of the stratum corneum, which is primarily accounts for the barrier properties of the skin. The stratum corneum is also known to exhibit the selective permeability, and which allows only relatively lipophilic compounds to diffuse into the lower layers. As a result, dead nature of the stratum corneum solute transport across the layer by passive diffusion, which is according to the Fick's law, and no active transport process have been identified in these process. The transdermal delivery is a term that should be restricted to the situation in which a solute diffuses through the various layers of the skin, and the systemic circulation for a therapeutic effect to be exerted. For example, treatment of withdrawal symptoms using nicotine. And the topical delivery should be used to define a targeting pathological sites within the skin, which involves ensuring minimal system absorption. And the drug localization of this type of important in the treatment. And the drug localization of this type of important treatment of dermatological conditions such as skin cancer, psoriasis, eczema, and microbial infections, where the seat of the disease is located in the skin. Here we can observe the schematic representation of the skin and appendages. Carefully you can observe. Okay, and we are going to discuss about the advantages of transdermal drug delivery system. The main advantage of transdermal drug delivery system is to avoid the first pass metabolism and other variables which is associated with the gastrointestinal tract such as pH, gastric emptying time, and The it is used to control the delivery over a prolonged period of time. When we, for example, when we apply the cream or ointment on the skin, it will be placed that area for a long time. Okay, so that's why this transdermal drug delivery system is used for the prolonged period of time, and to reduce the side effects which is associated with the systemic toxicity, and to minimization of blood drug concentration. Another advantage is to improve the patient acceptance and compliance. The fifth advantage is direct access to target diseased site. For example, treatment of skin disorders such as psoriasis, eczema, fungal infections. So, to cure these disorders, the doctor prescribed ointments, creams, or gels. These type of uh, this type of treatments like this type of transdermal drugs which are useful to the patients very, and the patient will be accept that type of drugs, so it is easy to do termination, and this process is painless, very easy to reduce the healthcare treatment, and also cheap cost. These are the main advantages of the transdermal drug delivery system. And whereas come to the disadvantages of the transdermal drug delivery system, a molecular weight of the skin is less than the 500 daltons, which is essential to ensure the diffusion across the stratum corneum, since solute diffusivity is inversely related to the size. Sufficient aqueous lipid solubility between 1 to 3 required for the permeant to successfully transverse the stratum corneum and its underlying aqueous layer for the systemic delivery to occur. The intra variability associated with the permeability of intact and diseased human skin, which implies the fast and slow and normal skin absorption, which profiles resulting in the varying biological responses. For example, one person having oil skin, one person having dry skin. When we compare to those two peoples, the skin absorption is different because the oily skin will be absorbed slowly when compared to the dried skin. So that is the main disadvantages of the transdermal drug delivery system. And presynaptic metabolism is the main disadvantages of the transdermal drug delivery system. For example, the presence of enzymes in the skin such as peptidase and esterase, which might metabolize the drug into the form of therapeutically inactive. It will be the drug will become inactive, there is no use, there is no therapeutic action will be seen. So it is the main disadvantages of the transdermal drug delivery system. And skin irritations, uh, in some cases the patients who has sensitivity, they will be suffered from skin irritations and skin itchings. In that type of cases, the transdermal drug delivery system is difficult to deliver the drug release. The skin which has immunological barrier may be provoked by the exposure to certain stimuli. This may include drugs, excipients, components of delivery devices, resulting in the erythema, edema, etc. That sensitive skin will be leads to the edema. So that's why these are the main disadvantages of the transdermal drug delivery system. Where in Next topic, that is permeation through the skin. How the drugs permeated into the skin? There are some methods, that is passive method and active method, which are used to permeation of the drug into the skin. In passive methods, the conventional means applying drugs to the skin, which includes vehicles such as ointments, creams, gels, and passive patch technology. More recently, such dosage forms have been developed to increase the driving force of drug diffusion and to increase the permeability of the skin also. Such approaches, which include the use of penetration enhancers, supersaturated systems, prodrugs, metabolic approaches, and liposomes, and some other types of vesicles. These types of methods which is used to increase the permeability of the skin. However, the amount of drug that can be delivered using these methods which is limited because barrier properties of the skin are not fundamentally changed. So that's why these methods are still limited. What are the problems encountered with the patches currently on the market, which include irritancy and poor adhesion? In addition, for cosmetic and patient comfort reasons, there is a limit to size of patch, that is 40 centimeters, which is below 40 centimeters. Ideally, it limits the amount of drug that can be delivered. This is about the passive method. And where it comes to the active method, the advent of biotechnology latter half of the 20th century, large molecular weight polar and hydrophilic molecules are mostly like peptides, proteins. This class of materials are tend to degradation by the enzymes in GI tract, which is given oral delivery. Hence, there is a need for the alternative routes for administration and suitable drug delivery system. The passive methods of the skin delivery are incapable of increasing permeation of such large solutes, which leads to the alternative strategies which referred to active methods. In this active method of permeation, the enhancement involved the use of external energy to act driving force and to reduce the barrier nature of the stratum corneum. Some approaches to lead efficacy of the transdermal delivery. In recent progresses, the technologies has occurred a result of advances in precision engineering, nothing but bioengineering, and computing, chemical engineering, and material sciences, which have all helped the creation of miniature powerful devices that can generate the clinical response. This is about the introduction, advantages and disadvantages, and permeation methods of transdermal drug delivery system. Thank you.